Hey everybody, welcome to Our Conspiracy. I'm Amy. If you've been following me, you know that I'm getting ready to go on a whirlwind deployment in the United States, art deployment. I'm thinking of it. And this video is about what I am taking, what art supplies I'm taking in my suitcase. This is for you, all you art supply nerds. I know you're out there by popular demand. Just a quick overview. I am taking art supplies for my own projects and my own work, sort of my daily practice, and also a bigger project that I'm planning to do that will culminate in an exhibit at the end. So I'm going to be working along the way. So, and that's part of it. And then the other part is I'm going to be teaching a bunch of workshops all over the place. In fact, this will crack you up. This is the United States. Looks like a turkey, which is apropos, don't you think? Anyway, check this out. I'm starting out coming from Thailand, Denver, Michigan, New Jersey, Maryland, Ocean City, Maryland, Washington, D.C., and then whoosh, back to Denver, and then Seattle, and then boom. And that's going to be about 4.5 months. But anyway, check this out. Oh my God, this is my flow chart. It's mostly in pencil, so it's hard to see, but this is my flow chart for my art supplies because I don't need everything all the time. So I was sort of trying to stage what do I need when, and since I'm going back to Denver for my Denver workshops, I can leave supplies there, and they're good for Seattle too. So it got very complicated. It's pretty fun. And somebody did ask me, why don't you just buy your art supplies when you get there? But I don't know. I can't bring myself to do that. I can't bring, first of all, I want to be ready to go. Secondly, is my art supplies reflect work in progress. Like some of the things I'm taking are literally, parts of pieces that I'm going to be working on. And, art supplies, they're like your friends, they're personal. I can't just go buy new stuff. That's not good. Anyway, having said that, I am having some stuff shipped. So anyway, let me show you. And if you stay to the end, I will show you also a little trick about what I do, how I set up my suitcase to carry the art supplies. So stay tuned. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna switch gears. Okay, so the first just sort of category of stuff is for my collage. Okay, and I'm gonna go through this pretty quickly. Tissue paper is really important to my process with collage. I have a whole package of just white paper. This is rice paper, which I love. It's like this beautiful translucent paper that I can color or glue down directly, and it lightens up areas of the piece. This is all miscellaneous papers, but mostly tissue papers, which all these different colors. And this is for my collage pieces and also for two of the workshops, which include collage, okay? And this is all more tissue paper. I know it's maybe it's silly to take this halfway across the world, but why not? Anyway, you can see all the colors. This is my tissue paper. Clips will also come in very handy. And this cardboard can also be used sort of for demos to clip paper onto and, work in front of the class. Here's collage papers that I've made. If you're interested in this project, this collage project that I'm doing, I made a video recently. So you can look for that here on YouTube. Okay. I think it's called A Traveling Artist, a new project. All these papers. I just looked at the warms. Here's the pools. Here's the greens. Got purples. Oh yeah. I mean, definitely need these. I think this is the heaviest thing, or all these papers. This is Bristol board paper, which is hard paper to glue on. It's a good base for collage. Okay, so there's that. And then here's envelopes with individual pieces that I'm working on, the collage pieces for the larger pieces that are going to get assembled at the end. I think that's all. Oh, and then I have my favorite scissors. I love these scissors. They just fit in my hand perfectly. I mean, when you work all the time with art or any craft or anything that you do repetitively, you really do, it really matters what your tools feel like and how you're used to handling them. Anyway, there's my scissors, and here's a couple of cheapo brushes for gluing, which they're really cheap in Thailand. So, okay, drawing supplies. Taking some toned paper, because I love to work on toned paper. I have markers. Here are my gray scale markers, which are so important. These are also warm neutrals. The neutrals are so important because mostly the colors are saturated with markers. They're a little bright, and so having those neutrals is really important. And I try to assemble like at least two greens, two blues, two yellows, two oranges, so I get the whole spectrum. And here is one box. These are actually acrylic markers. These are more transparent and these are more opaque. And so these go on top, which is really nice. And I have miscellaneous things. Mixing knife, white soft pencil, some pens, some soft art pencils. Okay. Then I have another, I love these little school boxes. They make carrying stuff very handy. And then when you're working, you can open it up and you can see what you have, and they stack. So they're really good to have. Anyway, white out. Look at this. You know me. Got my white out. I got extra Sharpies. I got some white Posca pens, which I love to use white medium. So there's my drawing supplies, and this is a whole yogurt container full of charcoal. And a little chamois, like one that's not very dirty and one that's super dirty. And there's erasers in there too. I think that's pretty much it for the drawing supplies. So now I have painting. I made this color chart. This is for my classes that use acrylic paint. Here's all the main colors that we're going to be using, and I want to show them what they look like thin, what they look like thicker, and what they look like if you add white. And then here is showing how you can make neutrals out of two colors, burnt sienna and ultramarine blue. And so these will be for my classes, be up on the wall. This is a pretty funny little kit here. Here's two pieces of cardboard, very important to carry all the way across the world, right? Two pieces of cardboard. But I use it to make line or scrape, and these are like my babies. Here's a random cloth. I have two different kinds of watercolor that I'm taking. These are all dried up. This is my tube color watercolors. And then I also have a pan set. So I'll use the two different kinds because students, I find, use both kinds. And so I want to demonstrate how to use both of them. And this comes in this really beautiful little tray. It's very good for traveling and to protect the paint. So there you go. And then I have watercolor block and watercolor paper. This is all watercolor paper. And I definitely will be replenishing paper as I go along. But this will get me through, the first month or 6 weeks. Not to buy some more. And then here is just a basic tube of acrylics for the first couple of workshops. Okay. Then I have my brushes. These are my watercolor brushes. Look at this one. Oh, I love this brush. Anyway, these are my beautiful brushes. And I've had many different kinds of brush holders through the years. And I always sort of end up by default this very simple system of a little terry cloth towel. And I roll it up and I tie it with this little string. and it works great, you know? So there's that. And then these are my acrylic brushes, because acrylic are a lot harder on brushes and you don't want to wreck your watercolor brushes with acrylic paint. My favorite spray bottle, and spray bottles are not all made equal. Some of them jam up and they don't work well. I love this one. I got it from my friend Ina. I labeled it Ina's bottle. I'm taking that with me. I have my cute little disposable, or not disposable, but travel water container, which I got in Lisbon. So see, I mean, it's like, it's got a history. It's precious. I have a little just black and white medium for my black and white workshop with a little mixing tray. And then I have some kind of random, I just got these, but they're really cool. Very soft brushes, which I can use for painting or gluing. I'm not really sure. And also the plastic packaging that they came in are great for mixing paint. You know, so try to use everything that you can. So I think we're getting down to it. It's a couple miscellaneous things. Painter's tape. Always got to have painter's tape. It comes in so handy. Marking images of your watercolor, putting things on the wall, holding things together, taping up bags. I use it for all kinds of stuff all the time. Business cards, old business cards, which I use to scrape and draw, and also it's good for information. If I see strangers who want to know about me. I have one of these guys, which is really helpful. I just find having enough outlets for whatever you're doing, wherever you are, is nice. So I always bring this when I travel. This is my favorite ruler. It's coming with me. Makes me feel happy. You know, it's like a little bit of my studio on the road. You know? This little puppy is a light for my computer for making me look good when I'm making videos. And speaking of which, this is my tripod for recording videos. Here's the clamp. Fits on the table. There's some clips. I think last but not least is I have a pile of images that will be reference material for all the workshops. Not that we're copying photographs at all, but we use them for information. So that, I think that's it. So give me 1 second and I'll show you that little thing about my suitcase. Okay, hold on. I don't know if that seems like a lot or not. Just is. Okay, I'm not sure if you can tell how big this suitcase is. Here's my arms. It's a pretty good size. You can see my body. It's about, you know, jumbo size. So this system is so awesome. Okay, I have 2 tubes. And if I have artwork, it can't be bigger than this, obviously, but it can be long as I want. And I can roll it around the tubes. So that's good for long pieces. You know, sometimes I don't have any this time, but sometimes that requires, you know, long roll. And you can also put things inside the tubes if you want. And they just sit here like this. And what I do is I put all this stuff inside here, like my little school boxes, for instance, fit beautifully inside here, right down the middle. And then I also can put clothes in here, whatever, just, you know, level it off. But I don't go above the top of the tubes, fill that up, because then I have this little shelf that fits on the tubes. And this is great for flat artwork. No bigger than this, but this is a good size. And like, here's some pieces that I'm working on that are the sketches that fit right on that shelf. Look at that, real nice, and they're protected. Also, some of my longer collage pieces go in there. And then I can put on top of that a lot of my flat art. Okay, blah, blah, blah. You see that? I mean, it really is a great system for, two different levels of carrying the art supplies. So I think that's just about it with one more quick thing. And back to me. That is, you got to have artwork with you. I mean, this is getting checked in the belly of the plane, and I'm traveling for 24 hours, so I need to sketch. So I'm taking my sketchbook, just a regular sketchbook. It's sort of medium weight, but I like the sketchbook. I'm just going to work in black and white, and I have my little bag of art supplies, my little kit that I have handy with me. And I basically have pencils, ink pen, markers, just black, gray, actually gray markers, and some white, including my white out, so I can do the full range of tonal achromatic work. Pencil sharpener with some like backups, same thing. But that's it. That's what I carry with me in my sort of my bag that I have on my person. So I am leaving in the morning. And so I got to pack up my bag and I will be sending reports from the trenches, the artistic trenches. So everybody stay safe, stay sane. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.